Do you be go? Oh, Cassie still ain't drinking, is she?
Nah, she's still recovering.
Not recovering.
Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Sure, truly, DJ your boy.
Olivia Johnson.
Social butterfly fly.
And it's the latest episode of Happy Hour Video Podcast. How y'all doing? Y'all had a good week?
It's hot outside.
Yeah, I feel you. I like to blame that on the hair, but nah, it just is what it is on this end.
It feels like summer. It makes you wish you had a pool in your backyard, especially
Bless
you.
Thank
We
you.
could just hang out.
Summer.
No.
I should have gotten some tissue. You know, it's probably gonna be runny.
Don't be giving us the COVID tonight.
I don't
ain't
have
with
the
that shit.
COVID, you guys.
Well, you didn't get your shot.
Well, first of all, I'm asymptomatic. Did I tell y'all that? Did I tell y'all that? Did I tell y'all that? I'm sorry, but I
Asymptomatic doesn't mean that you can't get
I
it
know,
or pass
but
it.
I know I probably could pass it on to y'all if I were to get it. But let me tell y'all something. So, cause you know it's allergy season and stuff or whatever. My son's throat was itching and stuff or whatever, and so I did take him to the doctor. And
He has bad pollen allergies
He
and
does,
stuff.
he
Yes,
does.
he's like me. Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, he's just like
When you say I'm asymptomatic, that means like
You
had
got it.
Right.
Yeah, you
No,
got
no,
it.
wait, no, listen. Let me finish telling my story. So anyway, I went ahead and did it because my folks were like, oh no, just take him and stuff, which he did. I went ahead and had his blood drawn. I was like, since I'm here, let me just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? But they both came back negative. He never had it before. I never had COVID, so we're all in the clear.
You don't know what asymptomatic means. Okay.
I do. That means you have had it. Oh, we took the antibody.
Who's going first today?
When you go ahead and go.
Okay. We got any new topics in here?
Oh my goodness, we pray Jesus.
I feel sick, like I got throat, and I must have been infected. Must have been.
Who are you going to happy hour with? Yourself?
And sometimes I might invite people. It just depends on if I want a free drink or not.
You
All right.
realize if you venture downtown, I'll go with you, but you ain't going that far.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
Go downtown.
That's close to me.
And
Boo.
you a lie because you can take the purple cup, so I'm with it. You want to? Okay. Are women sexist? Who came up with this question? I mean, I wrote it, but remember we came up
It
with
says, are women sexist?
Yeah.
Yes. We
That's
talked about that
probably
last
my
week.
question.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, and you wrote it.
I did write it, but I don't know
But it
who
was
came.
definitely more than
You know it's
just, are
him.
women sexist?
But why would you say?
It was
why-
definitely more to that than that. That's just what you wrote.
Well, why would you want to talk about this though, Robert?
If women are sexist,
Do you think we are?
can women be sexist?
I think there are some women that are.
I think naturally women are sexist.
Please explain. What do you mean? I don't think so.
I'm gonna tell you why. The same way men are sexist, women are just as sexist.
What?
Yes.
Oh, give me an example. You think so?
Yeah.
Got a story about it?
I got a few of them. It's just more examples than anything, though.
Give me an example of one.
Anytime someone says, because I'm a woman, yeah.
I've never heard I've never been in a situation and I've heard a female be like, it's because I'm a woman. Like, I've never
I
heard
hear
it.
that shit all the time.
I ain't heard it. I'm
All
trying to
the
think if
time.
I heard that. Hold
Well,
on,
no,
let me
I
think.
feel like I've heard more race than sex.
No, I hear it a lot. Like, it'll be random stuff. It'll be at work or working on a car or whatever. The assumption is always, oh, he's the man, so. Or, because she's a girl, she.
You're talking about
can or
gender
can't.
stereotypes and roles. There, like women are supposed to bake and cook and have babies and clean houses, and men are supposed to build things. And then,
Yeah,
if a girl is the one building stuff and doing all that stuff, and the guy the one baking and cooking and cleaning, they're like, something's wrong with him. You're laughing, but it's true because the boys.
I see a lot of women who still feel like they shouldn't be doing certain things because they're a woman.
Like pumping gas.
No. Everybody drives. Everybody
Well,
pumps
I
their
can tell
gas.
you, one of my friends didn't pump gas until she was 20 years old because
She lived in Washington State.
no,
or
she lived
something?
here in Alabama, and whenever she went to get gas, because she's a cute little girl, the old man and any guy to her around would just pump her gas, and she's like, "Thanks."
And she was just okay with that.
Yeah,
Sexist.
So
she used it. I think that some women use
She
being women
used
to their
her women.
advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, especially when she used being a girl to her advantage. If she doesn't want to, if she didn't want to do anything ever, she would just get a boy to do it.
She
because-
probably even felt like she shouldn't be doing it.
Because this friend of mine,
How disappointed was she when she had to pump gas for the first time?
I mean, she really didn't care. She was just like, "Oh my God, you're my brother," or "Look, our random man would just pump my gas for me," because she has an older brother.
Would that fall in the same place as like, okay, for example, if with us women and stuff, sometimes we have to take our car to the shop, and because we are women, men take advantage of that and be like, "Yo,
is that you say that? That is why I say it's sexist. Because the shop takes advantage of everybody, not just because you're a woman. They don't look at you and be like, "Oh, you're a woman, so I'm really about to rape your ass on this price."
But it is true.
No, it's not. They look at you like, "I'm a mechanic and you're not, so I'm going to fuck you up on this price with no Vaseline." And they do that to everybody. You should see the straight face they give me for the prices they give me at the dealership when I can't find a part at the auto parts store. They'll say that shit with a straight face. I'll ask for a screw. "Oh, we don't sell the screw. You gotta buy the entire part to such and such, and the part's $800 with a straight face."
They say that.
And then you go and
Fuck
find
outta
somewhere
here.
else at about $800.
It's like out of here. Like they upcharge like 800%, and no, it's not because you're a woman. It's because they expect you not to know shit about cars because you're not a mechanic. That's it. But y'all try it though. As a matter of fact, from my experience, women actually tend to take care of their cars more than the men do. Because the women will see something or hear something wrong with their car, and they just get anxiety over that shit. This ain't right. Something ain't right. Now you got some that don't give a fuck. They just put gas in and run.
Yeah.
But most guys are gonna be just
You
let him
got
drive,
guys
and
like
then
that
eventually
too.
be like, "Oh, something's wrong with it."
Right. No. I hear a knock and it's like, what the fuck is that? What is
Yeah.
that?
But no, I think some women do use being a woman to their advantage in like certain fields. For example, you know, like let me use an example. I don't want to use this example. No, I'm gonna use this example, and I really didn't want to. So you remember when all the Me Too stuff was happening and started?
Mhm.
What ended up happening was all those guys who were uptight got fired and stuff, and then who took their place? Most of them are white women. So, you know, and it wasn't just women, it was white women. And it was white women who literally let the guys do that crap, and they knew they were doing it. So it wasn't really, to me, changing anything, because you're rewarding women who knew that the guys were up here doing crap to other women, and you moved them up. How about you move someone up that wasn't involved in the situation? Or a minority woman that wasn't involved in the situation? But I mean, that's my
wouldn't have been having that. Not like that. It wouldn't have been going
because I mean, like, you know, with that, for example, I look at it.
Cosby never fucked with a black girl.
And not, he did, but not a lot.
Not even a Hispanic one. That last one got him in jail.
Well, and that's the one that he paid the money to. It was kind of, I mean, you know, people looked at that kind of like, oh, she ran out of money because he paid her a couple million, and she went and ran out of money, and then he ended up going to jail.
That's the money, man. It was the money.
I'm sure it was the rape.
Well, that too.
Well, and I think that's the thing too with, you know, all that stuff that happened with him and Harvey Weinstein, stuff like that, is that some of these women benefited financially for it. They were victims, but not all the victims benefited financially from it. It's like pretty much, okay, oh, I'm gonna go and take this money even though I know you did it, and now I'm out the money. Now I'm gonna go and be like, oh, you raped me, you sexually assaulted me, and I want to be the face of it.
Man.
To me, I feel like if you took the money, you need to not say nothing, because you benefited off of that.
You sold your cat.
Yeah, to me, it's like you benefited off of it, and that's not cool. The women that didn't get any money out of it should be the ones upset.
But I wouldn't say that either, though, because, you know, even getting some money, you know, it's not gonna affect, like, you know, what all went down. But at the same time, you know, if it could help a life situation or two.
Well, some of those, like that woman, I don't think that helped her life situation. I think she used it vacation and all this. You know, people, once they get millions of dollars, they go and, some of them just go and blow through it because they think it's never going to end.
Yeah.
Don't budget your money. I mean, I can tell you this: if someone were to give me $10 million, I'm not going to blow through it.
But I am gonna buy a yacht.
I'm gonna blow through it. I'm gonna blow through it. But it's gonna work for me, though.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm
you're
gonna
not
blow
doing
through that
stupid
shit.
stuff with it, like going and buying you a Lamborghini and
Right, and snorting cocaine and shit. 'Cause I'm
I ain't
pretty
gonna
sure
get an
that's what they
expensive
were
drug
doing.
habit, but I'm definitely getting a daggone plane and a yacht.
a plane? What a
Yeah.
private? Oh, do you
Yeah.
mean you're gonna get a regular plane? You can fly though.
Right.
Private
Yeah, you're not
jet.
buying. You're not buying a PJ.
I'm buying a jet. Yeah, I am.
Definitely buying
I'm
a
buying
jet.
a private jet.
Jet
With how
every
much
day.
At
money?
least an 8-seater. I need an 8-seater.
I need an 8-seater.
Somewhere I can
That's
take.
all your money.
Take the homies on
private jets.
vacation.
Private jets are not cheap.
You can get one for about $6 million. I can get one for 6
Yeah, a
million.
used one that's probably
Of
needs.
course, I'm getting it used. I ain't buying that shit, dude.
And you definitely ain't buying a yacht for. I mean, you would buy your. You could buy your yacht for $10 million, but you ain't gonna have no money.
But you can also rent it out because you know you can make money off the yacht and the plane.
Where you can do like be like below deck and have a during when you're not in there having people charter it.
Oh, yeah, I'm wilding out. It's gonna be in the state that I don't live in, is where it's gonna be parked at. Cause I'm gonna take my private jet to fly there. When I need it. You know what I'm
Got it
saying?
all figured
Oh
out.
And
my
then I'm gonna
gosh.
just let a company go ahead and pimp it out. They can get
What, during
just give me
your
my
off
check.
season?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next
Anyway,
question.
can women be sexist? Yes, they can.
Yes. You wanna know what that makes me think about? In my old job, one of the hairdressers, her husband is a yacht captain. He's been doing it for like 25 years.
Oh, that'd be nice.
But,
You said what?
Cake.
but yeah,
That'd be nice.
40-foot yacht can make it across the Atlantic, and I can take a propeller plane across the pond too. But I'm getting a jet anyway.
this one's been in there for a while and it's been through it. When should mixed children consider themselves black or white?
We went through that already.
Yes. Like there was
Next one, we did that one already. How these junks keep getting back in the bucket?
It's the ghost.
Well, that's well, why did it?
Should a white teacher teach black history?
Actually, I got some great black history from a white teacher in the
Really?
8th grade. It was Egyptian history. She told me some shit I never forgot.
So you paid attention to the Egyptian history.
Pay attention to all history. I fucked with history. But yeah, it was crazy because she was talking about how long the ancient Egypt lasted, like civilization lasted so long that the language was able to change like 3 times. Like, you know how you have a language and then pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? It just changes over time from like what's the word?
I
I'm
think they
looking for?
kind of morph and evolve, kind of.
Yeah, like certain words mean different things because of what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways,
I think
Yeah.
it just depends on the teacher, because there are good history teachers of all races, and there are really bad teachers.
yeah, I was told about the richest civilization in the world by a white guy. The one that ever existed. Mali. Richest civilization that ever existed.
My white teacher.
No, just a white dude. But yeah. He was a king of Mali. To this day, that king is the richest person ever in history. Yeah. Shit's
I don't
wild.
know. I feel like I mean they're not black, so
There are black people that don't know black history. They can't do
Exactly.
nothing. There are black Americans that don't know nothing about nothing outside of the U.S.
Or teach the wrong history.
Yeah.
At that.
I feel like
The Willie Lynch letters was a hoax.
what? For real.
Yeah, I bet you learned that from a black person.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Willie Lynch letters. Okay, the story is there's a guy seller named Willie Lynch.
Okay.
Willie Lynch wrote the letters of how to keep black people enslaved, and the things that you do to keep black people like sort of in your palm. For instance, things like make them want what you have, controlling your slaves, stuff like that. The mentality is a real thing, but the letters themselves were a hoax made in the 90s. They even mentioned it on 13th, that documentary. They mentioned the Willie Lynch letters, not mentioning that it was a hoax. That was a documentary that put out false information.
Counterfeiting is an interesting thing. Have you ever watched the show The Con on ABC? It may seem out this guy who had just has something to do with Black history, but he was this counterfeiter, but he was selling wine, pretty much going to get expensive wine and cheap wine and combining them and selling them for like $50,000-$60,000 a bottle, and no one had any idea they were fake wines. Like he was going and replicating the. No, it was wine, but it was like $4 wine you get from Walmart. And the only reason he got caught is because one of the freaking Koch brothers. You know who the Koch brothers are, right? Yeah, the one who's not in the company, but the one who has a lot of money and now he doesn't collect expensive wines. He was the one who pretty much outed him because he bought a couple $1 million bottles of wines from him. That was the only reason he got caught. So if he wouldn't have sold those to him, he would have never got caught.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I'm like, hey, you.
Yeah.
Be your own people.
Think about that joint.
No, that guy wasn't our own people. He
But,
was.
with the Willie Lynch
Asian.
joint, it was an author. It was a black author,
Yeah.
woke dude, that started that shit, and it caught on like wildfire, and it was such a believable story that it just went on.
And yeah.
So we get duped by our own people too.
Because realistically,
So being white does not stop you from teaching Black
if you truly
history.
think about it, you can counterfeit anything if you look at the way that it was written in the paper and all ink and all. I mean, if you're one of those people that study all that, you can counterfeit anything. We shouldn't be talking about legal things, but you know. I was going to ask you, speaking of Egyptian, how did you feel about this parade of all the King Tut and all of them going through Egypt a couple weeks ago?
What parade?
So in Egypt, they decided to move King Tut's his body and a bunch of the other ones and their sarcophaguses. They did a parade down the street. There was like 20 of them. People were like, "Aren't you concerned about the curse of King Tut?" Because
Maybe that was a lie for them not to touch.
well, everyone.
Tombstone.
Well, we'll see if anyone who
I
touched
thought
it.
that joint was in a museum.
No, it wasn't in a museum. They moved to another museum because they're trying to increase tourism to Egypt. So they posted this parade of all of the kings and queens that they had their sarcophagus down the road, and it was all pretty and stuff.
And then it touched it. Then it moved.
Well, whoever touched it may get cursed because you know the people that discovered it, all of them died.
Well, I mean, you're gonna die anyway. You ain't meant to live forever.
But they died very, very soon after discovering it.
I guess. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I don't know the story, but yo,
In the 20s.
I don't know. It's some weird shit. I'm sure King Tut don't give a fuck.
We'll
You know,
see.
mummification, they drained your brain out through your nose.
Well, they're dead, so they don't care.
I learned that through that history teacher too. You know, the white one that taught black shit. Yeah. I was
I
like,
bet you
dang, no wonder them jokers never came back. They kept your heart, but then took your brain out. It's like, yeah, you ain't gonna be worth shit. Anyways. But yeah, they suck that shit out through a straw. Just,
I know, that's so nasty.
But you know, they were dead, so they didn't care.
yeah, they was dead as fuck.
And maybe they did that so that certain people wouldn't come back to life, thinking that, you know, they could come back. Because you take their brain out, then they definitely ain't coming back.
But they were some of the best preserved people of all time. Like, nobody preserved a motherfucker like the Egyptians did.
I think they did their people wrong.
How?
Like, why would you, like, wrap them up and stuff and then suck their brain out of their, not, like, literally suck their brain out of their nose, but, like, drain their, like, I think their own people probably murdered them. That's probably what really happened. I
On
think
that note,
trying to make sure they don't come back.
That's what I just said.
Probably murdered them. Ate full of me.
Not murdered them, but I think that they probably, certain people, they probably took their brain. What did that say?
something we didn't talk about. Don't even read it out loud. I just let you.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let it sink.
Where did this come from?
It was snuck in there.
You wrote that with, you be sneaking in stuff.
Hey, we gotta
All
talk
the
about
time.
that one.
Nah, we good.
Why y'all wanna talk about? But y'all know what I'm talking about?
Should you walk away when you've been cheated on? Yes.
I don't remember talking about that one.
That's the one you just wrote.
I wrote that one too. And
Which you just wrote
Yeah,
this
you
one?
wrote that. You
Okay,
threw it in there.
that was one of the ones that we just talked about because I was talking about, you know, the clown who keeps on taking back what's his face, and I'm just like, Khloe Kardashian. Homeboy cheated on her again. She keeps on taking him back. That means you got low self esteem at some point.
Oh, the Thomas guy.
Who's the Chloe?
Tristan Thompson. Yeah, to me, I feel like if someone repeatedly cheats on you, especially if you're in public eye, just
Because they got a kid together. It's the kid.
Well, no, she wants to have. Well, no, it's just very interesting because I think they don't want to have a bunch of babies' daddies. They just want to have one baby daddy, which I think is going to screw up a child. If your baby's daddy repeatedly cheating on you and he ain't going to marry you, and you keep on having kids with him.
So like a lot of people I know.
Yeah. If you're cheating, just break up. That means you don't want to be with them.
So, did he cheat on her with the same chick?
No, different chicks.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because it's just with the same chick.
No, and none of them look like her either. But she
What?
don't even look like her. So
What?
I mean, if it's the same chick, it's like.
well, if it's the same chick, that means that's relationship. That's
Yeah.
our relationship.
Yeah, nah.
I think that if someone's cheating on you and they are cheating only with one person, that is a separate relationship. They have a relationship with that person.
Or maybe that if you gonna cheat, I
be
guess.
discreet.
Yeah.
Don't put your business in the street.
Boom. Be somebody that everybody don't know.
Have a burner phone so people can track it to you.
Yeah, y'all are funny. How y'all know about that?
Meet in places. I watch enough Lifetime movies to know this.
Lifetime.
Okay?
Yes, Lifetime is the blueprint.
I watch enough Lifetime
What was
movies.
the question again? When should you leave?
Should you leave after being cheated on? Yes.
Like right after? Like, should you, like the first time should you leave or should you give him another chance?
Ain't no second chance.
See, this is what I think is interesting
Everybody
though.
deserves a second chance, Robert.
Fuck they do.
See, here's the thing though. If a guy cheats on a woman, they think the woman should stay. But if a woman cheats on a man,
Who think
he's
that shit?
done.
Who think that shit? Who
There
think a woman should stay?
are women who think that women should stay after being cheated on. Unless unless they cheat on them and they have a baby with their side piece, then they like you
can't
done.
take the same hurt.
Look.
Okay?
Look,
Men can't get
it don't matter what relationship you in. If that's something that you are willing to put up with or whatever, then that's your business.
And
Whatever.
men can't take
Cool.
the same hurt that we dish out. They skin
I would
thick
expect
like
any
ours.
woman I'm with to be okay with it, and I for damn sure ain't gonna be okay with it. It ain't all right.
I feel, stick with it. Toughen it out and just stay.
Yeah, I'm sure you're the cheater in these situations.
It's you.
You want to know what that made me think of? I was listening to one of my podcasts, and this woman had got married, right? And her husband pretty much was like, "Oh, we're gonna have an open relationship," which really wasn't open because it was
1%.
like,
Well, check this out.
"We're about to die."
We're done. So it's been
We're
great.
about to die.
See y'all next week. Hey.
Alright, bye.
Yeah, have a good night.
You gonna have to. Okay.
I'll tell you the story.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
I'm gonna order this chicken.
oh my gosh. So no,